Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Let's get into Monday Night Raw from August the 19th, 2024. An okay show for the most part. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just pretty okay. So we kicked the show off with Randy Orton. He comes out, he gets on the mic, he welcomes everybody to Monday Night Raw, and he says the next time he makes that introduction again, he'll be world champion. He said the match at Bash in Berlin was all about the World Heavyweight Championship until Gunther made it personal. When Gunther mentioned Orton's grandfather and father last week, he said he had no choice but to take the opportunity to hit him with the 3 months dangerous letters and all sports entertainment RKO. So Gunther comes out, the crowd boos him, the crowd chants USA. So Gunther says, my bad. Gunther tells Orton to look at him. He knows what Orton, he wants to know what Orton is celebrating. He said, is he celebrating the fact that he turned his back on Orton and he got hit with an RKO? Gunther tells Randy Orton to celebrate it because that's the only celebrating he's going to do. And so the crowd, they're chanting USA. So Gunther tells the crowd they only have a few brain cells to rub together to support Randy Orton. Gunther says, since everyone is hyped to see Randy Orton hit another RKO on him, he came here to let them know that it won't happen again. Since everyone is aware of how dangerous a move the RKO is, Gunther is left with no option. He said when he's done with Orton in Berlin, he'll leave him a bloody mess. Gunther will expose Randy Orton for what he is, a very yet successful underachieving one-trick pony. So Randy Orton tells Gunther to keep running his mouth, in which he'll make the 8-hour flight to Berlin more uncomfortable with a size 15 boot shoved up his ass. And then Randy says it's a size 15 double wide boot. Extra wide. So this leads into a fight where Orton is about to get the upper hand for a second. And Gunther and Kaiser, they attack Orton, but he fights them off. And that was it. So this is fine. It makes sense. We all know Orton's going to lose come Bash in Berlin. I don't know why Gunther said he's going to make Randy Orton bleed. That's kind of dumb. This shouldn't have even been said, if we're being honest. It won't make any sense because it's not a blood feud. They're not fighting over... Well, they are fighting over the World Heavyweight Championship, but still, that's not a blood feud nonetheless. It doesn't need to even have blood at all, so I don't even know why he even said that. So he should have said that he's going to leave him in a heap of blood or whatever. I mean, I don't know what Gunther could have said, but he didn't need to make that statement. Like, we know that that's not going to occur, so why the hell would Gunther say that? It is what it is. But we all know Gunther's going to win. To me, this seems like a match that she would open the show with, but since it's going to be in Gunther's home country to an extent, I could see this being the main event of Bash in Berlin, so it is what it is. Moving on, so Jackie Redmond's backstage with Sheamus, who's holding his left arm. He's in a cast. Sheamus says Pete Dunne smashed him with a shillelagh on the hand. He said tonight he'll get retribution. Pete Dunne will target his injured hand, but he still has a few tricks up to teach him. Sheamus asks Fort Worth if they're ready for banger after banger, and then he walks off. Okay, that's fine. So this leads us into our first match of the night. Sheamus defeats Pete Dunne via the bro kick. So this was a long match. Pete Dunne, towards the end of the match, got Sheamus's hand in the rope, about to stomp it. Sheamus was able to fight it off, and then he hit the bro kick for the 1, 2, 3. Well, no, he ripped out the turnbuckle pad, and then he hit the bro kick for the 1, 2, 3. This is fine. Sheamus should have lost this one, if we're being honest, even though I'm not a fan of Pete Dunne, but Sheamus should have lost this one. Pete Dunne's also, working double duty as he's working in NXT. So, yeah, but Pete Dunne should have won this. Even if it would have been like via roll-up or like a countout or something like that or something. Or Sheamus gets a little bit overzealous and the referee calls for like the DQ, something like that. I would have enjoyed any of those finishes, but it is what it is. Sheamus is just there just to be there at this point. I don't know what he's there for, really. Like, why is Triple H still pushing Sheamus at this point? It's not 2012, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't fucking get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It's what it is. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Sheamus in NXT. I think that'd be kind of cool to have him down there for like a good 6 months. That'd be kind of cool. Moving on. So, the New Day, they're backstage with Odyssey Jones. He's getting fired up with the New Day. So, Odyssey Jones walks off. Kofi Kingston tells Xavier Woods that he felt his energy has been off. Kofi Kingston wants to make sure that Karrion Kross isn't getting to Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods says that that's not the case. Xavier Woods wishes that Kofi Kingston would have talked to him about Odyssey Jones coming in. It feels like Kingston's trying to replace Big E. Kingston says they're not going to replace anyone. Kingston recalls how everyone trash talked the New Day. When Xavier Woods was trying to bring it up, they stuck with it, and they're a family. Nothing will change that. Odyssey Jones is in the same boat they were in back in the day. Kofi Kingston was hoping, as veterans, they could bring Odyssey Jones under their wing, the way the veterans should have done with them when they were coming up. Xavier Woods says that Kofi Kingston is right. Odyssey Jones walks in and gets fired up. Kofi Kingston walks up with him, and then Woods smiles. So this makes sense, I guess, but it's not really that important. Moving right along. So Braun Breaker, he's backstage. He said that he's going to be a star in the industry, which is 1,000% correct. It's not arrogance. It is just, it's just is what it is. So that's fine. Makes sense. Moving on. This leads us into American Made. So that's Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. So Chad Gable and the Creed brothers, they find Ivy Nile backstage. Chad Gable says his vision is complete and welcomes her to American Made. Ivy Nile says that she's the pit bull. She gave Maxine Dupree a chance, but she's not. But she was holding her back. Chad Gable says after Ivy Nile breaks the Malibu Barbie, they finish with the failed experiment called the Alpha Academy. They can focus on the Wyatt Sicks. They're not done with them, and they'll send them crawling back to whatever swamp they crawled out from. How are they? They're American Made, so that's fine. Makes sense. So, this was a no contest. This involved Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. So the Wyatt Sicks, they appear. Nikki Cross, she gets involved. She takes out Ivy Nile. And then Eric Rowan and Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy, they beat the shit out of Chad Gable. But they teased that, but it didn't happen. So Bo Dallas, who was Uncle Howdy, he hit the Sister Abigail. And apparently next week it's going to be Bo Dallas taking on Chad Gable, which is weird. This should be on pay-per-view. Come on. Why can't this be in Bash in Berlin? It makes no sense. It's so dumb. Why is Triple H trying to book the Wyatt Sicks as a television act when they should strictly be a pay-per-view act, and that's how they can get massively over as a pay-per-view act? I just don't understand it. It's weird as fuck to me. I've never been able to figure that out. I don't know, but it is what it is. What can we do? What can we do? Nothing at all. I don't know. Moving right along. So, Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley, they are backstage. They are known as the Terror Twins. So, for 2 weeks, for the last 2 weeks, this new lame version of Judgment Day tried to take them out. For the last couple of weeks, the Terror Twins stood in the ring as the clowns were sent running. For Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, their days are numbered. At Bash in Berlin, they'll receive their punishment. Rhea says there's nowhere to run or hide at Bash in Berlin. Dom will find out really quickly that it was her and Damien Priest who were keeping him safe. As for Liv Morgan, she hasn't taken everything. All she's done is become the one thing she hates. A discount Rhea Ripley. At Bash in Berlin, the Terror Twins will put them through the mat. I like that. Pretty cool. Interesting stuff. Moving on, CM Punk is out next. So he comes out and he puts over the hockey team and everything else. Talks about the fans and everything. How he was at Fanatics Fest over the weekend. He said that WWE's on a hot streak. He calls the crowd animals, freaks, fans. He mentions, a woman, a young lady who's fighting cancer. She beat cancer. He also met another lady from Taiwan who flew 15 hours to meet him. So, he also met a young guy from Jordan who wanted to come see him. Who came to see him as well. So Punk said that he missed them for 10 years. So he gets excited to come to Florida for the first time in a long time to share some news. He said the news basically is it's going to be a strap match. He says that he's Taylor Swift for men. He says they're exactly like the bracelet that Drew McIntyre took off his unconscious body in his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. So Drew McIntyre then comes out and he basically accepts the match. So Drew McIntyre calls CM Punk he asked if he's drunk, and he was being serious when he said it. So, basically, they just jaw jack and forth. They just jaw jack back and forth. That's it. So this is fine. This makes sense. A strap match, I'm down for it. Makes perfect sense. Obviously, they can't do a dog collar match. And it makes sense why they wouldn't do it. But this is a happy medium, and this makes perfect sense. So, Bash in Berlin should be fun. This might be the co-main event, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's what it seems like to me. Moving on, so Dirty Dom and Liv Morgan, they're backstage. So if Damien Priest and if Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley think that they stand a chance against them at Bash in Berlin, they're out of their minds. They're the most dominant couple in the history of WWE. No one lays a finger on Daddy Dom and gets away with it. And Bash in Berlin, they'll be on top. Dom says he doesn't want to wait till Bash in Berlin to get his hands on Damien Priest. He's not the same dominant Mysterio he used to boss around. Dom tells him to leave Rhea in the back, and he'll leave behind the Judgment Day. They should go one-on-one in the ring if Damien Priest is man enough. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So, the New Day and Odyssey Jones, they defeat the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and the Authors of Pain. Poor Final Testament. I really do wish that Karrion Kross would be moved to SmackDown, and you could put AOP probably back down in NXT for a little bit. That's what I would do with them, but it's fine. So Odyssey Jones getting the win is fine. There was one point in the match where Kofi was going for a hot tag. Xavier had his hand up, but he chose to tag in Odyssey Jones. I'm still up in the air on if the New Day will turn. If the New Day will break up. They probably won't. I think what they'll probably do with the New Day is they'll probably have Odyssey Jones turn on both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, which makes sense. But then who do you get to manage Odyssey Jones? Like, who could that be? I don't know. It would have to be a black guy. It would have to be maybe Teddy Long or somebody like that. I don't know. But you have to have a manager for Odyssey Jones. But I could see Triple H doing that. I could see him, having Odyssey Jones turn on Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. The New Day to me is just super stale, and I'm really not into them. I think New Day had their peak back when Kofi Kingston was the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Back in 2019, I think that's when they officially peaked, in my opinion. Ever since then, even, with Big E winning the WWE Championship back in 2021, even that was, okay, but I don't know. But I'm over this whole New Day shit. Like, break them up, just, it is what it is. Who cares? Moving on. So Damien Priest is backstage with Rhea Ripley. Rhea is worried that the match against Dirty Dom is a trap. Damien Priest said he'd walk through a minefield arm in arm with her. As long as there's breath in their bodies, they won't stop until they pass judgment on this lame match Judgment Day. Really good stuff there. Moving on. So this is just backstage. So Adam Pearce, he's backstage with The Miz. So Adam Pearce says he wants to suspend Bronson Reed, but he respects the fact that The Miz wants to do this match. Wants this match. Miz says he doesn't know what he wants to do. If he wants to do this or not. Maybe Adam Pearce should just suspend Bronson Reed and ban the Tsunami. But Bronson Reed hurt our tree with his friend. Miz doesn't have a lot of friends. And he may not want to do this, but he has to do this. Miz is honorable. Not really, though. Man, Miz needs to turn heel. Like, for real. Like, this babyface Miz is boring. So, Bronson Reed defeats The Miz. It was a no DQ match. Post-match, Bronson Reed was going to go for a second Tsunami, but it was stopped because Braun Strowman came out and he stared a hole through Bronson Reed. And Bronson Reed backed the fuck down. So that's interesting there. And the match is going to take place next week, which is stupid. Why would you waste that match right now? Why wouldn't you just take time to build it for a couple weeks? I don't know. Triple H has Tony Khan like booking. Basically. Moving on. So Jackie Redmond, she's backstage with Sheamus. Sheamus is in pain. She asked him how his hand's doing. Sheamus says that it hurts. Pete Dunne went toe-to-toe with him. Ludwig Kaiser interrupts and asks why Jackie Robinson is talking to the opening match. She should be talking to Ludwig Kaiser, who's in the main event against Randy Orton. Sheamus asks Jackie Robinson to excuse them, so she leaves. Kaiser says when he's done with Randy Orton, he's coming back to Sheamus to settle things once and for all. Sheamus says that a few broken ribs and a smashed skull weren't enough for Kaiser. If he wants to finish the trilogy, Kaiser knows where to find him. Sheamus says he'll be enjoying a paint as he watches Ludwig Kaiser take an RKO. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. So, Braun Breaker is backstage with Kathy Kelly. She asked him about his future plans now that Sami Zayn is behind him. Braun Breaker says it's a good thing that he went to a highly educated university. Apparently, there'll be a tournament next week to determine his next challenger. No. Adam Pearce can't stand the fact that he's progressing through the roster at a fast pace. Now he wants to stop him with a tournament. That's not his fault. He's a badass and a genetic freak. It's not his fault that the dogs are barking in every city they go to. It's not his fault that he earned this Intercontinental Championship. To the poor soul who wins the tournament, he'll spear him to the floor and give him the beating of a lifetime. That'll be Braun Breaker's fault. I like it. Nice. What I don't like is the dumbass, lame-ass tournament. Enough of this shit. This is Tony Khan type booking. I hate it. Why do a tournament? It's lame. You're going to basically have 8 nobodies that don't really mean anything. You'll probably have Sheamus in there. Sami Zayn will probably be in there. Ilya Dragunov might be in there. And you will probably have Sheamus or Jey Uso in there. So, I don't know, man. But this is whack. Moving on. So, Damien Priest was set up by Dom. So, the match never took place. And the Terror Twins got their ass whooped by the Judgment Day. So, they beat them down. Liv Morgan beat the shit out of Rhea Ripley. So, I mean, it makes sense. And then Dom had a frog splash on Damien Priest, and that was it. So, it's fine. It makes sense. Moving on. So, more Judgment Day stuff. Finn Balor, he's backstage with the rest of Judgment Day. He says that was a little sample of what will happen to Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley at Bash of Berlin. Dirty Dom says that Damien Priest is was world champion because of Judgment Day. JD McDonough says he's not the world champion because of Damien Priest. Because of the Judgment Day. Carlito says that's cool. Liv Morgan says that Dom has been all men at Bash in Berlin. She'll make Rhea Ripley her bitch. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Moving on, the Unholy Union, Alba Fire and Aladon, they defeated Damage Control, which is Kairi Sane and Io Sky, as well as the Pure Fusion Collective. Ugh. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Ugh. I hate that name. That's so dumb. So they win, and who cares? I don't give a shit about this. Moving on. So Jey Uso is entering the tournament next week. He had an interview with Jackie Redmond. So she mentions that WWE fans have been excited to see him and Sami Zayn interacting backstage. Sami Zayn's not here tonight. Can he shine some light on that? So Jey Uso says that Sami Zayn is taking some off time, but he can be back with a vengeance. So Sami Zayn told Jey Uso that if he can't be champion, Jey Uso can. Jey Uso said he heard Braun Breaker talking about needing a challenger. Jey Uso talked to Adam Pearce, and he's going to be in the tournament. Next week, he's in this city. He'll be Intercontinental Champion. And then Jey Uso's looking for his first singles title. Okay, that's fine. Who cares? moving right along. So let's lead us into the main event. Main event of the evening. Randy Orton defeats Ludwig Kaiser via the RKO. Post-match, Randy brawls with Gunther, and that was Monday Night Raw. So Pat McAfee will be leaving WWE for a while. He's going to be doing college football. So he should be back sometime in January. So it is what it is. Who's going to be his replacement? I have no idea. It could be that new guy from ESPN, Joe something. I can't remember his last name. It could be Byron Saxton. It could be Corey Graves. Who knows? It could be Wade Barrett, for all we know. Who knows? So it is what it is. But Monday Night Raw was okay. The Judgment Day stuff continues to be good. I love the fact that we're getting a strap match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. It makes perfect sense. Randy and Gunther should be okay. I don't care about the women's tag team titles. I just don't. It's a non-factor in my opinion. I don't care about the women's factions either. They're a non-factor as well, so who cares? I feel bad for Karrion Kross and AOP Final Testament. Again, you could put Karrion Kross and Scarlett on SmackDown, and you could put AOP back to NXT. And I don't care about this tournament either that's coming up for the Intercontinental Championship. That's dumb. But all in all, Monday Night Raw was okay. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.